Hello, everybody. My name is Lewis Lee, and this is Campfire and Concrete, but reverse concrete and campfire. I always say it backwards. I went to public school. What's up, Arco?
Not much, brother. Good to see you.
Yes, sir. So tonight, Arco mentioned that we should get people to start thinking about their go bags or their get home bags, or if you call it what's the other word,
Look out bag.
bug out bag. So
Yep.
you put it all together and then you kind of leave it in the truck or your house or somewhere, and you don't think about it too much, but you have to go back and check it to see if your stuff's still good. Like I had packs of tuna fish, and they're good for like 2 years, I think. So mine had timed out, so I had to switch them out because you don't think about that stuff, and if you don't change it and you have a situation you take off, you will eat out expired food if you don't have anything else. So,
And man, that could put you in the hospital or worse, botulism and you can get really sick from that. What's up, Taylor and Dad Chad? And I appreciate you guys showing up. But the other thing too is batteries, like your flashlight batteries and stuff. I always carry a headlamp. I just did something the other day that I've never done before because we've been talking about this. I actually put another style headlamp in my bug out bag because now I have like a work one and I have a emergency one. And my Energizer one, I notice I'll get a good like 10 hours out of that, but I don't use it that much. So it's always in my bag. It's ready to go. But I have my work one because here in Minnesota, that's another thing that people don't have the problem is like in other states, it'll be 9, 10 o'clock before it gets dark. And here in Minnesota, like 3:30, 4 o'clock, it's blackout, like it's dark. So you need a work headlamp to do work and whatever when you're outside your truck, or maybe you have a flat tire, an emergency or something like that. You got one on the ready at all times that you can take out of your bug out bag and keep with you. And then you got your other one that if you're walking through the woods and that one dies out or something, if you don't have a flashlight, in your pocket, you got to be prepared all the time, man.
Yeah, here's another thing too. With anything that takes batteries, you can put a little piece of plastic in between the battery and the item, and that'll save your battery from being used. Like, have you ever bought something and it had that little plastic tab in it, and you got to pull it before it works to make connection with the battery? So you can do that too. Put something in there so to keep your battery longer, so it won't trickle down, I guess you call it.
So I just went out in the woods 3 days ago, making some videos and stuff and just hanging out in the woods. And one of the things that I caught in my bag that I wasn't even paying attention to, just because I've been doing so many videos and stuff, and you guys will see those on this channel popping up. I actually put 2 videos up today and had to take it back down because I put them on the wrong channel. So I'll put them on this channel. But anyways, I had my fire starter, and I always mix petroleum jelly with cotton balls, and I mixed a whole bunch of them up. And I did that probably, I'd say 5 years ago, and I just ran out of my last cotton ball in that little Altoids container, I call it a survival tin or whatever we call it, Right. And I just used the last one, so I need to make some more and make sure and fill those up, because that's the other thing is with Minnesota, it gets so cold so fast. You don't want to be out there when it's like right now, it's 14 degrees outside right now. You don't want to be outside messing around in an emergency with your gloves off trying to make a fire. You want that fire right now. If you don't have birch bark or something that lights up quick. So you got to be on your best game, man. So you got to have redundancy, like a lighter. And how many times I've taken a lighter out of my pocket and it won't work, even though it's up against my skin. But you take it out, and by the time you get it out, it's when you're out there and it's 30 below zero, that lighter you might as well throw it in the garbage. It's done. You're not going to get it to light. You need something you get.
I think you're the only one. You're the only one's gonna have that problem at 30 below because you're up in this crazy area.
Well, you got Chad, and then Bill. Bill Cameron. He's in real cold weather. So is Joey. Yeah. There's a few. Well, no, Joey's in Ohio. No, I mean you guys don't get that cold.
Don't be like you get.
I always carry the fire still, man, because you can drop this in the water You can still make fire. You can be in the cold, the hot, the whatever. No heat messes with this at all. And you know, I used to carry a Coghlan's brand, and I used to hike all the time with the Coghlan's brand, and the fire still would fall out of the plastic deal.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, and so this is a Mitch metal. This is not just a normal ferrocerium, and that's one of the reasons I carry this for fire, is because I have fire cord right here, and this, you can strip this apart, make fire with the cord that's inside. But the Light My Fire brands, you could scratch up this plastic, and it's actually a fire starter. Plus, you got the Mitch metal here, which is ferrocerium. It's ferrocerium and not titanium. What is it called? Not the aluminum. What's it called? Help me out here. The engine blocks are made out of magnesium. There you go. Magnesium. Yes. Yeah. So it's magnesium and ferrocerium. That's what the Mitch was made out of. You know.
That's sweet. So you mentioned the cotton balls in the jelly, or
petroleum jelly.
Yeah. So me and my son's he's backstage. I'll probably bring him on in a little bit. But me and him made some out of makeup wipes. The round makeup wipes, they're really cheap at the dollar store. You get like a bag of 1,000 for $2.
Yep.
So we took those and we dipped them in Vaseline and put them on a baking tray and put them in the oven for a little bit, and it melts down into the fabric. So then you take them out and you put them in a sandwich bag or a plastic bag and put them in your kit. Real cheap. You know, you can get Vaseline for what, $2, $3, and then those makeup wipes, and they're thin and flat.
And
so they
best
nice.
Fire starters ever, hands down. I don't care what anybody says, man. Cotton balls or those makeup things you're talking about, and the Vaseline like that, best fire starter ever. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I've used so many like pre-made or homemade fire starters from people, or like stuff off eBay, stuff off the internet. I don't care for none of them. I always go for the stuff you're talking about, the cotton ball and or makeup wipes with the Vaseline, you know.
Yeah, we tried it too out in the backyard, out at his house. We tried it in the backyard and with the fire, different ways to start fire, and they work really nice.
Hell yeah. Hey, thanks for everybody showing up. We got Wayne, Bill, we got let's see, Taylor and Midnight Customs. What's up, Mo? And Brandon and Mick. I don't know this Mick guy from San Diego. What's up, my brother? That's Damien. Cool having everybody here, you know.
Yeah,
look at what, can you put that up on the screen there? What Taylor was saying in Canada? It's about 7 up from the bottom or whatever.
Taylor, this one.
Yes. So I mean, you know, minus 50, minus 34. That's no joke, man.
Yeah. I don't know why you guys live up there. I don't understand.
And that's the thing, is people don't understand until you go out in that stuff. They're thinking, oh, it's cold. But when you walk out, you have to have a mask on, because it'll take your breath away. I mean, you're going to be gasping for your, you know, or doing this, you know, trying to breathe.
Yeah.
And then your forehead starts burning, your cheeks, your ears start burning real bad, your fingers. And I'm talking I'd say within 10 minutes, you're in trouble, man. You're in big trouble. You start losing, you know, you can't even touch your fingers together and stuff. You start losing dexterity and everything.
Now, I joke about you guys being up there where it's cold, but think about the weather all around the country. It's been really weird.
Like, oh, yeah.
I'm in Arizona right now, and it's 31 degrees. And earlier today, it was 71. So it gets cold at night. So you could be, you know, you're thinking, oh, I got to have a different setup. But you need a setup for all different types of weather, because you never know the way things have been going in the last couple of years. The weather's just crazy.
So I got to ask, you know, we're talking about these bug out bags and setting up the bags to make sure you check all your stuff, to make sure you have, you know, clean underwear and socks and not pajamas, but like, you know, under long underwear and whatever in the cold. And then you got different bug out bags for like the heat, where you want to carry more water, some salt pills, whatever. But everybody in the comments, if you don't mind putting it up in the comments, if you carry a bug out bag, put it in the comments, yes or no or whatever, you know. I'd like to know who carries one. I know Taylor does. It gets cold.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you
It's
never know
47
when it's going to get cold.
Yeah, Wayne's saying it's 47
again?
in California right now. So
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. 47. Like it dropped fast. It was 71 2 hours ago.
and see how fast it dropped. I mean, that's nuts.
No, that
Huh?
ain't
The
right.
weather.
31. Is that right? Hold on. Actually, my special weather vane outside is saying it's 46 outside.
That's still
So
chilly
yeah,
up
still cold.
there for Arizona, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, for when you're at 71 and it drops down to 46.
Yep.
Somebody's making fun of me about my weather thing outside, and it's working pretty good. I know the wind, which way it's blowing. I know the barometric pressure and all that stuff. I'm high
Like
tech.
I was gonna say, like you said, you like them gadgets, huh?
Yeah, man.
That's another thing too, is with the gadgets, man. You got to be careful with all these damn gadgets and everything. Now, everything that comes out,
Yeah.
trying to set up a bug out bag, you can have so much crap in there, you can't even pick the thing up and put it on your shoulder, man.
Yeah.
Less is more.
Mine's a little too heavy. Mine's
Yeah.
a little too heavy. I think I'm gonna switch it out. I think
I-
the heaviest thing in mine is that axe. So I think I'm
Mhm.
gonna try to find a lighter axe. You know what I mean? Something with a
And
little
they
bit.
make some nice ones. I mean, I don't know. You'll have to show me which one you have. I have a Holtefors in mine. It's nice. Nice and lightweight, but you can cut some trees and stuff down with that thing, man. And to be honest, if I had the choice between an axe and a saw, a high quality saw is 10 times lighter. I would put a saw in there, because if you have a knife that you can baton with, you know, I've showed you batoning, you know, you could baton with a knife. You don't need an axe, man. And that's just my opinion. So this is a Holtefors right here. This is what we carry in our bags.
Okay.
And these are amazing. And it's got a little lock here. You just pull a little skull.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful, you know. And then it's got some fire starting what do you call this? Juke twine or whatever you call it.
I use
Material,
it
yeah.
that on the
Yeah, Heidi has it on there because she's always hitting this on the wood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this is a Holtzbrook or a Holtefors. Yeah, these are beautiful.
That's nice.
And really nice. And I like this loop that it has right here. And obviously it has this, so you don't, you know, but I think these are kind of dangerous. She keeps hers on there because she hangs it.
Yeah, I hang it. But they don't use it because it does swing back around and smack you in the leg.
So I'm gonna tell the people something that happened to me when I was a kid. So me and a couple of buddies were out in the woods and we're cutting down trees with axes. And so I cut down a tree, so the stump was still up, probably 3 foot high. And so I stuck my axe in it, right? And so I was doing something else, and my buddy was hitting on the tree on the other side. And the vibration kicked the axe up, and it flipped up and hit him right in the top of the head, cut his head wide open.
Man.
So that's something to think about, man. You know, don't stick your axe in something and leave it, because it jumped up, man, and got him. And
That's crazy.
it was bad, dude. And we were probably 10 or 12 years old. You know, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to fix him. You know, I'm running, hollering, trying to get people to help him. So that's something to think about. You see anything we need to put up? Okay, I'll put that there, and I'm gonna run and get my axe. Hold on.
Which one are you talking about, Damien? What I was laughing at your comment. Say that again, brother. So we don't have to back it up if you don't mind.
You said Damien, or what's his name?
I'm waiting for Damien to put his comment back up, see what he said. Because he was saying, okay, I'm sure you were laughing at my comment, but I was actually being serious. I was wondering what he was talking about. I must have missed it. Let's see your axe in the meantime, brother.
Okay, so I got this. Actually, it's pretty light. I think it's something else in my bag that's heavy. But
That's
this one,
that's a sweet one right there.
yeah, this one has the the fire starter. Wait a minute. It has the built-in
Fire steel? Yeah.
fire steel. So it goes in the front here in the case. That's pretty neat. Then it has let's see, it's pretty light. I don't know, something else in my bag is heavy, but it's pretty nice. Then in the bottom it has a saw knife.
Yeah. Those saws chew through some wood too, man.
Yeah, so I think I don't know where I picked this up at. It's Yes for All. Probably Amazon. That's what it is, Yes for All. It says.
I like that setup though, because you have I like everything with redundancy where it's not just one thing in your bag. You got your axe, your saw, and your fire steel all in one. And then you also have that handle where you can stuff some fire tinder down inside there. You know what I mean? Some cotton or wood.
Yeah, and a hammer.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Oh, and it has a belt clip right here that turns. You know, you can have it a couple different ways.
Yeah.
You know, to hang on your belt. So yeah,
That's a nice setup.
It ain't bad. It's pretty light. I mean, I thought it was heavier. Maybe something's in my bag heavy. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that sounds good, Damien. So he was talking about one of those chainsaw blade deals in a package, and you throw, I know which one he's talking about. Like you run it back and forth or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. My buddy Jason sent me years ago. They're pretty trick.
Yeah.
And they cut like crazy, man.
And you can compact them down real small in your bag, so they're really nice. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
And they cut fast too.
Oh, and like Heidi was saying, I've done videos on it. You can make bow saws out of those too. If you take like a branch, if you guys watch on my other YouTube channel, you can take a branch and bend it down like a 1-inch sapling or something, and put notches in it, and you stick that in there and use it like a bow saw. You can actually use it like an actual saw.
Oh yeah.
It worked really nice. And they cut through some crap, man. They cut through fiberglass, plastic. I mean, all kinds of stuff, not just wood.
Yeah. Yeah, they work really nice.
What's up, Manny? Right on.
I'm gonna scooch inside.
Okay. 615 is already starting some crap on here too. So what's up, brother? Good to have all you guys here.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you guys coming.
Right.
Yeah, if you guys have any ideas, man, put them in the comments so we can put them up.
Hey, one of the other things I was going to ask too is, like, you're in a bus. Obviously, we're in houses or whatever. We've got propane. We have fuel oil here. We've got wood stoves. We've got electric heaters. What do you do in your bus? You're not on any electricity, right? You're using solar only.
Yeah. Well, no, I have a generator if I need it. So running off solar right now, everything's running off solar. I have. What
I was going to ask is, how are you running heat? What are you using for heat in your bus?
Okay, I got a couple different options. I have diesel heaters that are connected to my diesel tank, my fuel tank.
Right.
So they use a very little bit of electric to get them started. Once they start, they draw off the diesel tank. So I have one of those in the kitchen and one in the bedroom. So the one in the kitchen will heat the whole bus. I don't even got to turn the one on the back.
That's what I've heard is like, I see guys like with a 2-car garage heating their whole garage. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, those things work that good.
Yeah, they really are.
What do they use, like a quart a day or something like that of fuel?
Yeah. It's real little amount of fuel. You can run them off kerosene too, because it's basically the same kerosene and diesel. But they invented those for trucks because the government started putting restrictions where you can't idle your truck.
Right.
So guys needed heat, so then they invented these diesel heaters. They're no joke, man, and they're real reasonable, like $150 on Amazon for the Chinese version, or you can buy the real good ones, but they're like $1,000.
And probably the same damn thing,
Yeah, pretty much.
Have you seen the conversions where these guys are running them off transmission fluid, solid transmission fluid, like used or used motor oil? That is trick. Yeah. And they're like they're taking like their buses and dumping the motor oil and the filter, and then they're scrapping the filter, obviously, and they're using the used motor oil, and they're running them through their diesel heaters. Yeah,
because it's just like a diesel motor. You can almost put anything in a diesel motor.
Yeah. Yo, I know a buddy of mine in Stockton. Wayne actually knows who I'm talking about, probably, but he worked at this transmission shop, and he says, I've been working here for 10 years and I've never put diesel in my truck. I've ran straight transmission fluid every single day. And he said it actually gave him a lot more power, and he never had to pay for fuel ever, because they just threw away, you know.
Yeah, transmission fluid is a little bit lighter than diesel, so it does flow through your system better. Every once in a while, you should probably run some through to clean your system out too.
Yeah, I know he had like some crazy filter setups in there that he did, and it wasn't just a stock truck. He had it all pumped up, and he had the filter setups, and then he ran like methanol or something, or diesel through there with it every once in a while, like you're saying, to flush it, you know. But pretty much all the time he was running straight tranny fluid, though.
Yeah, don't let the state trooper catch you.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's the type of guy that wouldn't stop anyways.
Catch me, coppers. So that's one source of heat. Then I have my mini splits, just like your home, the mini splits that you put in your house. So we got two of those. We got one in the front, one in the back, and it's air conditioner and heat. So that uses a little bit of juice, probably 600 watts. It uses. That's not real bad though, but it does use some. And if everything goes down, I have 2 buddy heaters. Those buddy heaters, propane.
Yep.
So if worst case scenario, I'll put those on.
Yeah, and they work good.
Yeah. Yep.
So Manny is saying, do you need electricity for those diesel heaters?
Just a little bit. You do.
And what is it, 12 volt?
Yes, 12 volt. So actually, you can get them. You can run them off of a car battery. Like you plug it into a cigarette lighter. So they don't use too much. When they first start up, they use a lot of juice. But it's 12 volt. So.
And then Brandon was asking they make 12 volt mini splits. That's what yours is, or no?
No, mine's 110, but I have a converter that converts from 48 to 110.
That is sweet. Rosina, that's Bill's mom, Rose. Hi, Rose.
Hi, Rose. So I'm gonna show you my setup a little bit. Take you down. So there's the mini split. That's one of them. That's over my front door, and that covers the living room, everything. So here's my solar setup. I don't have any solar coming in now, but then here is my cabinet. So this is my inverter. So that changes everything from my batteries, which are down there. So that changes from my 48 volt or 48 volt batteries, which I have 6 of them, and this converts it over to 110. And then here's my solar stuff. These are the solar controllers, and the solar coming in from the roof. It goes through all the whole system.
And I gotta step in here and say something that, like, when he brought this bus to our car show, it was so cool to see this, because this was the bus project that we did on our YouTube channel for Lewis and his wife. And walking through this bus is nicer than like any of the houses I've ever been in. Look at this place, man. That's a bus, bro. Where's the upstairs in the waiting room and stuff?
I can't show you that right now.
That thing is plush, man.
Yeah, we built all the cabinets. We built everything, the walls. Then my wife likes to eat, so we had to get a full-size fridge. And then here's the bathroom. We'll give you a little quick tour.
Make sure your lady's not in there.
Yeah. So here's the shower. And we got a skylight over the shower. Then compost toilet and the sink and the rest of it.
Yeah, that place is so sick.
Then we got Bigfoot reading.
I ain't saying nothing right there, bro.
We got a full-size sink, kitchen sink. So it's really like a small apartment. Then here's the TV over here, and this goes down into the cabinet, so we can see out the window. And then I made the front like a car or a truck. Then we got the captain's seat up there because we took the door out. So that's about it.
he's not even showing you half the bus, bro. It goes like
Oh,
way
yeah.
back, big old jacuzzi. There's like there's a pool. There's upstairs, downstairs. There's a waiting room.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
like big old bedroom. Man, it's sick.
So the bedroom's in the back, has a queen size bed. A lot of room back there.
It was funny when he showed me the bus. Not to interrupt, brother, but when he showed me the bus when he was at my car show, and he's like, "Yeah, check it out." And we're walking through it. I'm like, "Man, this is tight." And then he's like, "I'll show you the little bedroom real quick." And we walk in. I'm like, "This is bigger than my house, man. This is bigger than my house. It's crazy." It turned out nice, man. It's so cool to see that on the road, though. You know?
Yeah, and we were sitting here in the desert saying, "Man, it took us a long time to get here, but it seemed like it went fast because we're here." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, time flies nowadays, man. That's what my mom used to tell me when I was younger. She's like, the older you get, the faster it goes.
Right. Bill, we are in Quartzsite, Arizona. Yeah, it goes quick, man. Yeah, we're loving it so far.
So Bill and I were just talking about we'd like to make a run to a couple different spots, and I think Quartzsite would have to be one of them. And of course, Damien's gonna have to go with us. And I was just talking to Paul today, and we want to do those metal shaping classes in Texas. So we want to get over to Manny's to Mayhem Fab Shop and hang out with him for a couple of days and hike the mountains and stuff, man.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
When do you think about doing that?
I'm not sure yet. We were just talking to Paul about it today, and then talking to Bill about it the other day. So something that we want to start getting set up. But I mean, the way things are going, you got me wanting a stupid bus now, man.
There you go. I know where to find them.
Who needs a bug out bag when you have a bus, right?
Bug out bus. Hey, I might have to jump out of here and take off running too. You know, you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, so let me know when you're going to do that kind of stuff, because I could try to plan our route, you know what I mean, where we're going, because we don't have no destination. We're just floating. You know what I mean? We're gonna stay here for the winter. Probably February we're gonna take off to Florida, go to another bus rally down there. But other than that, you know, we're open to stop places.
Yeah, I was talking to Bill about that, and Bill and I were like, where would we go? What do we want to do, and all this kind of stuff. And I was laughing because I told him if we pick up Damien, it's going to be Bill and me and Damien, and we'll probably take our ladies and whatever. But I was like, oh yeah, somebody's got to be there to bail us out of jail, man. We're going to get in all kinds of trouble.
Start some stuff, huh? Yeah, so that's what I do for heat and air. Like I said, those buddy heaters, they're small, and you get those small propane grill, ones you put on the grill. So
right.
I got those for backup. That's the last resort, you know what I mean, if something really goes down.
Yep. Hey, I don't know if I'm allowed in Washington anymore, Brandon. I might have a couple felonies or something over there. I don't know yet, or warrants. Never know. What's up, John? Oh man, that'd be fun to have John on the. Have you seen John's bus?
No. Yeah, John, you gotta send me some new pictures.
Man, new pictures, not nude. Just for the record, okay?
Yeah, new.
Don't send no nudes, man. No, he showed me some videos and stuff like his bus. His bus is sick. Yours is a flat front, right, John? I think his is like the other style, like your buddies.
Rear engine. Yeah.
Bruce, right?
Bruce. Yep.
Yeah. He's got that rear engine style bus or whatever. I think I'm not positive. I don't remember, but he showed me like the fireplace and the way his bus was set up. It was cool. He's got a tree set up. Yeah. And he's in. You're in Washington too, right, John?
Washington,
yeah. Yep.
So I was gonna put a fireplace in here, but man, the insurance companies they're not insuring buses, man. They got them. It's hard to get insurance. Yeah. And once we cut the roof off, they didn't want to give me insurance because we cut the roof off. So
just tell me it's a Toyota Camry or something, man. Come on.
Yeah, right. I was nervous. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to stay home with this bus.
You only need insurance if you smash into somebody, right?
Yeah, but if they come and see the stove in there, they're like, oh, we're not covering you. They'll drop you. Yeah, they'll mess you up.
they do that like everywhere with mobile homes too. You know, if you have a mobile home and you have a fireplace or wood stove,
Yeah.
they don't like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know Hollywood's going with us, man. Yeah, you guys might as well start bailing us out now because we're getting
start saving up.
Yeah.
No, I tell you what, our women keep us out of trouble.
Are you kidding me? Heidi's the worst one. She'll pull a knife on somebody. She don't care.
She'll start it off.
Oh yeah, she's the one that fires it right up, man. Or she says some dumb thing and pisses somebody off, and then I gotta stand up and box somebody over it. You know what I mean?
Right. Hey, Louis, do you want to jump in? My son's in the background.
Is he? Right on.
Yeah. Oh, let me see. Here we go.
What's
Hey.
up, yeah.
What's up?
Long time no see.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Arco.
How you
How's
doing,
it
brother?
going?
Good to see you.
I just
feeling
want to
better?
thank you. Yeah, feeling better. I wanted to thank both of you for taking the time to talk about this stuff. I think it's important. And Arco, I think you've shared a lot of cool ideas. One of the things you were talking about earlier in terms of bringing a axe or a hatchet or not, and you were talking about having a saw in terms of using that as a kind of a substitute. I know in the first episode you talked about also making wedges too, like actually using knives or saws to make wedges.
Yeah.
Do you have a video of how you do that?
Yeah. I actually I have tons of, if you go to my YouTube channel, but I can look some up and send them to Louis, and I'm actually going to be putting those videos on this channel. So what I'll do is I'll try to find those first and put those up on this channel first. On the Concrete Campfire. They're on my Outlaw Edge channel, but they're way back because I actually started that channel as a survival channel.
Oh yeah.
And I have some videos which I didn't think nothing of it. I just one day Heidi was like, "Hey babe, you should be filming that," you know? And I'm like, "What?" A big tree fell down in front of us, and I was cutting the tree out of the road with my pocket knife, and she's like, "Well, you gotta show that on video, man." To me it was normal. That's what I do, you know. But I took out my pocket knife, just a regular. I was using a CRKT, but I'm talking about just a regular pocket knife like this, and I was cutting a full size tree out of the road with that and a baton, and batoning through the wood just a certain way, and then you can just snap the whole tree off, you know. Yeah. And so like I don't care about an axe like when I'm on the woods. If I have a saw, it makes it nice. But most of the time, like if you have like like you were talking about a wedge or something, you can split up your firewood fast with just a pocket knife, man. You don't need a axe. You don't need a saw. If I have a pocket knife, I'm going to be tearing up some woods and getting the fire going quick. Because to me, it's like there's a lot of different ways you can bust wood. So if you have a pocket knife and you can whittle down and make some feather sticks and get a fire started, that's the main thing. Because then you can start burning through some bigger logs too. If you know what I mean?
Right.
If you get on with it, because man, when you're cold, I don't care. I don't mess around when I'm cold. Like if I'm out in the woods and I start getting cold, right when I start noticing my hands are starting to get slowed down, you know, and it is different here compared to like, I mean, Ohio gets cold, but compared to like California or whatever, which you can still get hypothermia there too. But once you get to that point where you're shaking so bad and you can't use your fingers, you might as well check out, man, because you're gonna be in the hurt locker. You know what I mean? You're gonna be in trouble. So anytime I'm out in the woods and I know that I'm starting to get cold, I stop what I'm doing and I'm building a fire right then and there. Bam. And you know, I've slept next to like long fires. I've done the whole like putting rocks in the ground that are heated all day long. It takes all day to do it. You know, and then bury them with dirt and then lay on the rocks to keep yourself warm, right? I have a lot of those videos in my channel, you know, in the past videos, but I want to try to start posting those on this channel, you know? Yeah. And I had 2 of them going up today and put them on the wrong channel, man.
That's good stuff. And I had no idea about doing the heating up the rocks or the stones for like a warm bed. I think that's cool. I have to look into that.
Yeah. You got to remember too, not to ever take them out of the river because they'll blow up in your face, man, right out of the fire.
Really?
They're like, you ever seen that episode on Mythbusters where Carrie put that jawbreaker in the microwave, and when she opened that jawbreaker, the air hit it and it just boom, it burn the hell out of her. I tried, but that's what the rocks will do. The moisture from the river or the lake or whatever, you pull them out of the water, it'll like start super boiling inside the rock, and it'll actually blow the rocks apart in a million pieces, right, in your face. And they're like a shotgun blast, you know. So you got to be careful with that. So always remember, if they're super wet, don't mess around with them. But if you're somewhere, if you're somewhere where you're cold though, and you want to heat those rocks up all day in the fire, the best way to me is put them in the fire and make another fire over there where you can keep warm, and just let those things sit and cook in the, you know, that way if one does explode, it's not going to get you. And then dig a hole, put them in the dirt, and you need a good, like, I'd say like 10 inches of dirt, you know, over the top of those rocks, and pack it down real hard and put more dirt and pack it down, and it'll keep you
10 inches.
What's that?
You said 10 inches. Wow. Okay.
10 inches, yeah, at least, because if not, it gets too hot. You can't even lay down on it, man.
Wow.
It'll keep you. You'll be like a roast turkey in there, man. You'll be nice and toasty.
You gotta cook yourself.
Yeah. But my favorite method in real cold is a long fire, and that's where like you get a fire going, and it takes a long time. But in that case, almost like what we were talking about, I'll make one fire here, and then make a long fire, and then pull a log out of it, and then pull another log out of it, and then that long fire is the ones where they're burning all night next to you, and you kind of like lay down. You know, I'm talking about survival though. I'm not talking about like camping, hiking. You know, you're out there trying not to die, man.
Yeah.
Another way too is, have you ever seen like how they have a self-feeding fire? You can do that too.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I think that they do that in Africa when people don't have anything to cut the wood with. They just keep feeding the fire with these long limbs and these long branches.
I mean, I'm talking about self-feeding, bro. Like, where you put the you know, pieces of wood in the ground like this, and you start stacking logs, and then one will start burning, and then as it's burning through the night, it'll just keep dropping a log down in your fire for you. You know,
interesting. No,
there's all kinds of ways, man. It's just get out there and do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm not some guy full of crap. This is stuff I do, man. Like, it's like I've had people tell me, "Oh no, that's you watch that on some TV thing or what?" No, dude, I do this like for real, man. Go out and do it. You know. And I have videos of proof. You know, you can go and watch all that stuff. So it's fun.
Speaking of, because you were talking about using the starter that you always carry around your neck. That's something that I'm going to be looking into, because I carry a lighter, but I always have you in the back of my mind saying, "What if you get wet?" and then you're talking about the weather and whatnot. But one other thing that I've used to start a fire is, you ever hear of like that sap in a pine? It's called like niacin. Yeah.
It's, you know what that is, right? That's like turpentine. It's just, that's why it's so flammable.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I used it on wet logs. I used it with wet leaves and wet logs, and it's just started cooking. And it burned long too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the folks out there, if you're out there, you're making a fire and you see that white sap stuff coming out of pine trees, take that. So take the bark, because it's in the inside lined with it too. It's good, real good stuff to start a fire with. Yeah,
because fat wood, that's my favorite, man. Fat wood or like birch bark is like, it's like gas.
Yeah.
But, hey, I'll show you just real quick while we're right here. I pulled this out of my pocket right now, and this is another thing. You know, obviously, does my lighter work? See, my lighter works right now. But like we were talking about, you fall in the river and this is wet, but you could take this thing and bust it off there, and you got that little flint right there, right? So it'll still spark. It'll still spark every time you hit that. And if you take a rock or something, this stuff right here, a lot of people don't realize that this is super flammable, the plastic.
Oh,
so
scrape it.
Scrape a whole bunch of that off in a big pile about the size of a quarter, and take this, even though there's no flame, and hit it with that little because it's the same thing as what's on my neck, a flint. You got a little flint right there. You hit one little spark like that, you'll light that thing up. You got a fire, bro. So you could use a lighter without even having the lighter, you know? Yeah. Something to remember. That's the thing, is you got to think outside the box. And I think that's what happens, is that's how people get hurt real bad or die out in the woods, man, is they just get scared or overwhelmed, and then they just kind of give up, because they're like, I'm done, man. What are you going to do?
That's interesting.
Yeah. So by hearing gives you something to think about if you get in that situation, like you said, just
For
by us
sure.
talking about it.
The so yeah, the lighter is part of my everyday carry, and it's nice to know what you're talking about, popping the top off. One of the things that you said in the first episode was looking at everything. When you're talking about your everyday carry, look at your glasses, right? One of the things that I didn't look at your shoelaces, look at your belt. That was one of the things where I told my dad that one of the things that you should talk about is everyday carry. This would probably be more so on the concrete side, but everyday carry for travel and going into airports. And Arco, I hear that you don't fly. I hear that you don't get on a plane, so this might not apply to you. But one of the things that I've been looking at in terms of everyday carry, self defense while flying is, and I tested this out. Obviously, a tactical flashlight, so
Yep.
you could shine that in somebody's eyes, and then the other one is a personal alarm. So like a Sabre, I think that's the name of the company. It's SABRE. They do mace too, mace spray.
Yep.
They also sell personal alarms, which I used when I was doing some long distance running, and I was doing it in a national park, and I used that for animals in case I ever came across any animals. Animals hate loud noises,
Right.
so I had that on me for that. But apparently, those are TSA approved, and I've brought it through TSA, and I've had it underneath my sleeve on the airplane, right? So you got audio and visual that you can impact somebody on a plane. And then one of the things that you said was a belt buckle. If you get something that's really basically like a rope with a big belt buckle on it, that too becomes something that you can manage distance with. You can hit somebody with it. You can I'm not sure if YouTube's going to boot us with some of the additional things that you could do with it, but it just made me think back to what you were saying of like looking at everything, looking at the whole picture, and I think it ties into what you're talking about of thinking outside of the box.
Right. And as far as self-defense too, I mean, and you know what I'm talking about there, but as far as like self-defense, being able to defend yourself, and I mean,
It could be an animal.
we all grew up. What's that?
I said it could be an animal you're defending yourself too.
Yeah. Well, like I was telling you with that old man that was jogging and got that mountain lion jumped on his back, and he defended himself by using one of the old style cell phones that had the little tiny antenna sticking out, stuck in the things, the mountain lion's eye, and it let go. Sure. And that was on the Sacramento running trail,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It makes me think. So I'm a martial artist, and our head instructor, he was showing us some moves, and the way that they break it down is they have whole classes for strictly self-defense, and they have whole classes for competition, which is those they're kind of the same, but they're different. They have different nuances. And one of the things that he was saying, one of these moves that he was showing us, he's like, never do this in a competition, but if you're at a bar and you're fighting for your life and you're in this position, take your thumbs and put it in the guy's eyes.
Yeah.
And I was with my training partner, and I told him, I said, that's really effective. I said, I have a 10-month-old baby, and she can't control her limbs. And one day she just was moving her arms, and she grazed my eye. She just grazed it. She grazed it, and it almost took me out of commission. It was I couldn't focus, but it just showed me how impactful the eyes are in terms.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that if somebody can't see or breathe because you hit them in the nose, or not only in the nose but like in the throat, they're out.
Yeah,
like you said, out of commission. They're not going to mess with you no more. They can't hold on to you or nothing if you smoke them in the nose or the eye or the throat,
Mm-hmm.
or in the genitals, I mean, they're gonna let go of you quick.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Louis, you're right. It's good to think about stuff that you wear every day. It could be like my bracelet is a tool, but it has a lot of things on here I can use for bottle opener, glass breaker, a little pick. I got all the different bits on it. So it's it's being aware of stuff that you have on you every day that you can use for multiple things is a good way to look at stuff.
Yep.
Just thinking
So
outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
So another thing that I was talking to my dad about this show, I had some not ideas for the show, but I had some questions or maybe some topics you guys could run with later on. You folks want to hear a few of them?
Yeah.
Some things
Yeah,
I got. So Arco, this ties to something that you're talking about earlier in terms of like prioritizing what you have in your bug out bag, because you don't want everything. You want to carry the things that are essential, and you want to maintain that weight because that's going to be a drag on you. So in terms of that, I was thinking, what is kind of the 20-80 rule for preparedness? So what does that mean? Okay, so it's like, what is the 20% of effort, or what is the 20% of tools that is going to drive 80% of the value in most likely scenarios? Right. So outlining the I'll give you an example from the insurance world. I'm a licensed insurance agent, and I did not hear that segment about a Toyota versus a bus. So don't worry about that. But in the insurance world, one of the things that I learned is that flooding in your house is more common than a fire. And the statistics are, if your house is in because they'll look at houses in a flooding zone area. If your house is in a low flood zone, like a low likelihood to flood, it is still 4 times more likely to flood than it is to catch on fire. And I was going to use that analogy to talk about how everybody in their house has a fire extinguisher, but almost nobody has that little adapter on your shop vac that reverse cycles out the water from the shop vac out the other side, and that's $80. And I was going to use that example, but then we had a scenario that happened here at my house where my wife did use a fire extinguisher. I wasn't here, I wasn't home, but it's kind of preparedness. Apparently, I'm not going to name the individual, very helpful person to me, was working on a situation with my generator that I have. They have the same generator. They were taking a look at it, and the generator caught flame. It lit up, and my wife ran out there with the fire extinguisher. So we have used that. So it ruins my example. It ruins my example of like what is more likely. But from a preparedness topic idea, I would love to hear your guys' thinking of like boiling it down, because when it comes to preparedness, there's some people that are wearing tinfoil hats that they're preparing for an alien invasion, right? And it's like, what is the likelihood of that versus your lighter getting wet, and what you need to do to adjust that? So curious to hear your thoughts on that, the 20-80 of preparedness.
So when you were talking about the flooding of the house, like if your house did flood tomorrow, a lot of people don't realize, like, they're trying to drink water, they're getting dehydrated. Like you hear about it in Florida and Louisiana, all these different spots. And that's where a lot of people get sick, is from drinking the water that's around them or in their house. But all the sewer lines are flooding, they're coming out. So you got all that sewer back up in all that water and everything. You know what I mean?
That's interesting. I didn't think of that. Yeah.
And so just having bleach to mix with your water, because you can put like in a quart, if you put like 5 drops of bleach and let it sit for a little bit, you got, potable water, drinkable water, and that's one of the main killers of I got sick with it years ago, like 30 something years ago, almost killed me. Yeah, I'm still paying for that, man. It
really?
Like so bad. Yeah. And I was actually doing survival classes and drank some bad water that we didn't boil long enough, because we didn't let it do a rolling boil. Yeah. Long enough. Yeah. And I got sick and ended up getting a stomach virus, and it went on for a while. And about probably 2 years later, I was in a clinic, and I was like super sick. And this lady came in and checked me, and they said, well, we're going to take a stomach sample. They put this tube down my neck, and they pulled it out. They went out and checked the sample, and she goes, come with me. You're going to the hospital right now. You're going into surgery. we have to start chemo on you. And I'm like, whoa, what? And there's the only way they can kill it was with chemo. So it was bad, man. Yeah, it was crazy. And that's the sickest I've ever been in my life, bro. Like I was straight, like I was giving up life. I was like, I just kill me, get it over with. It was that bad. And so that right there is one of the things, like, man, water. I see people drinking water like that out of like ditches and stuff with these filters. And I'm like, man, I'll boil the water and then run it through a filter. I'm like really picky about it, you know? But I can see where you're talking about with the different variations or whatever, like what's more important or whatever. So I totally agree.
Well, so water is at the top of the list. I think there's some type of like, well, I know with the bug out bag, there's the filters and there's the tablets and whatnot. But
not to interrupt, but I would say, I always tell people, like I've heard people say water's at the top of the list, and to me it's not, because it's my area is, I would say the area that I'm in, I would say fire right now is the top of the list for warmth, for signaling, and boiling your water.
Yeah.
Even snow, I won't take snow and just eat. I mean, I'll eat snow, yeah, but I got to clean it off, because like you can get that same virus or that same what do you call it? That bug in your stomach from eating. You've ever seen snow when it turns that pink color? That'll kill you, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, it'll kill you. Like that stuff has got that stuff in it where it's got a little. You'll get a stomach bug and get sick as hell, you know. But it's important to me to boil. Yeah, there you go. We just talked about that the other day, huh?
Yeah. So these are cheap at Walmart. Walmart has a pretty nice section for camping and stuff.
Yeah, they do.
You can get a lot of this stuff really cheap. This is the water straw.
Yep.
So this stuff is pretty cheap. So to not have it is you're doing yourself a this. How you say it?
Disservice.
Disservice, yeah. Because
and what's the weight of that? It weighs almost nothing. So having that in your bug out bag to carry that with you 24/7, like I would rather have that in there than an axe, in my honest opinion, man, because that's more important, you know. Because what's an axe going to do? It's going to cut a little bit of firewood, but can you get a fire started where you're at without an axe? If you have a pocket knife on you, like you carry one, Louis Jr.
Yep.
You carry one all the time, every day.
Every day. Yep.
Yeah, me too. I actually have, and this is no lie, every single day, I probably always have at least 4, maybe more knives on me. And when I say knives, I don't have to have big blades. I mean, I'll show you, like even in my, like right here in my wallet, I think I have my other one on me right here. So yeah, here you go. I even carry this in my wallet. Check it out. This is a little baby saw here. It doesn't take much, man. You know?
Yeah. For sure.
And that's why I was saying fire is more important to me, because if you can make fire, you can boil your water. But I even carry in my bug out bag, I carry a pencil sharpener, and I've had people ask me, well, what's that for? It's a construction pencil sharpener, and I'm like, because if I want to make some fire starter quick and take a stick and stick it in there and sharpen it up, that's like really super thin. And throw a spark on it, that stuff lights up quick, you know.
Yeah. So. I'm thinking there's a whole episode here dedicated. What's the top 20% of scenarios that you want us to plan for?
I would say in my area, the one that I would plan for is getting lost in the woods, because we're in the middle of nowhere, and it's going to be different than the concrete side of it, because obviously urban is different. And the other one is getting a flat tire, your engine blowing up, or going off the side of the road because of ice. So you're broke down in the middle of nowhere. And when I say in the middle of nowhere, bro, we are in the boonies. You know that, Louis.
Yeah, you got a good.
You went down Highway 6. You know what I'm talking about.
It was probably a good hour and a half of nothing. Just
nothing. We
Sounds
are in the
nice.
boonies, man.
Sounds good.
I actually had one of the YouTuber guys tell me one time, he was like, hey, bro, I went on a map and I was looking at the where you are, and he goes, you said Big Falls, right? And I said, yeah. And then like I said, I was talking to him about that, and he goes on for about 10 minutes, and he's like, Big Falls. And I go, yes, BIGFALLS. And he's like, there's nothing out there. I'm like, I know, like there's nothing. That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like there's nothing. And he's like, it's 2 hours from anywhere. And I go, I know. That's where we live, man.
Yeah.
And not only is it nothing on that Route 6, but it's a 2-lane road, and off the road is a ditch on both sides, all the way.
And some of those ditches go down, I'd say 12 foot, 10 foot, and some of them, the ditches go down, I don't know, 50, 60 feet, so it's, and you can't even call that a 2-lane, bro. That's it's like a 1.5 lane, man.
Yeah.
It is. It's bad.
So
yeah.
we're getting to the top of the hour. How are we looking on time? Do we got time for a couple more, or we got to wrap it up?
We can go another 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good. Let it roll, bro.
And again, these don't have to be answered all here. I'm just throwing some ideas out. It could be whole episodes going later. But my next question is, what are some myths or some misunderstandings or just flat out cons in the preparedness world? Right. So Arco, I know that you've done this before. You've trained people. For the people that aren't trained and the laymen, such as myself, what should we be on the lookout for? How do we spot myths or cons?
I would say first thing that comes to my mind is buying stuff as far as like equipment or stuff to carry on you at all times, or something to carry in your bag. It would be gadgets. And Louis knows what I mean by gadgets because he's a gadget guy.
Yeah.
There's so many tools out there and so many knives and so many fire steels, and you buy this stuff and thank you, Brandon and Mo. They sent me this awesome knife the other day. The knife is badass. It's a really nice K-bar knife with a really nice sheath, but the compass is absolute garbage. And I do honest reviews, and I'm not trying to hurt people's feelings, but I tell people, hey, if you send me something, I'm gonna do an honest review on it. I'll tell you what my opinion is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think gadgets is one of my pet peeves with your good and bad as far as your myths, like you're talking about. And if I had to think of something else, another one is they're always talking about, like, if you fall in the water and it's 30 below zero, jump out and roll in the snow and all this crap, man.
Oh yeah.
Hell no. I'm making a fire, dude. I ain't messing around. I'm not messing around with rolling around in the snow. It'll warm you up. I'm making a fire. Like, I don't care about nothing else. I want to get my wet clothes off me, stand out in the boonies in my underwear and warm up next to the fire, man. Because I've fallen through the ice before. So I know what they're talking about,
So Heidi says, test your equipment. Make sure it works.
Yes.
Definitely.
Oh, I have something to say about that. So I live in Stowe, Ohio. It's right outside of Akron, Ohio, which is right outside of Cleveland, Ohio. And there was a guy here that he just got convicted of a felony, and he was selling bulletproof vests to the local police department, and they weren't actually bulletproof.
Oh no.
Yeah, so they're throwing the book at him. He's going away for a while, and millions and millions and millions of dollars that he conned them out of. That I think he owes back like $10 million. But yeah, fake armory.
Man, that's crazy.
But it's like one of those things. How do you test that out? Throw it on a dummy or something? I don't know. I don't know how you.
Here, put this on and run out there 50 yards and let me shoot at you. You know what I mean? He didn't make it. It don't work,
Yeah.
But Heidi's got a good point right there. Test your gear. If that's one of the things we were talking about too, is having gear that's gimmicky or gadgets. If you have a knife that they say it does this and this and this, I want to go out there and try it. I want to see if it does that. And I abuse my equipment. I got a Mora video. I'd love to send you, Louis Jr. I got a Mora knife video that I did, and it was funny. We were trying to get we were actually out there for about 2.5 hours, and the video is only probably 20 minutes long. And I gave up trying to break this knife. I was like, it ain't gonna break. You're not gonna break it. And it's just a regular, there's all these guys doing these videos on these $150, $300 knives. And they were breaking them, and they were showing how to break them and all this stuff. And I said, what about a $12 Mora? It's $12 at a sporting good place. And we bought this $12 Mora, and we took it out in the woods. We could not break this knife. Honest to God, we did. If you watch that video, you'll bust up laughing. We actually, there's a part in there that we actually hammered it through a tree, completely through, so the blade was sticking out like this far on the other side. We're talking a tree like this, right? And I hung on the blade like this. We were taking hitting it like big logs and hitting it, trying to break the blade off in the tree. Couldn't even get it break. And then we were hammering into the trees and then bending it all the way up 90 degrees and then pulling it out, and the blade as straight as can be. I mean, I'm like, man, know your gear, man. You know, the myth is like a lot of that stuff is it's junk. Some of it, there's knives that I've taken out in the woods before. Baton one time, boom, broke in half. Baton stuck it in the tree, tip breaks off. I mean, garbage, you know. And these are expensive stuff that you buy, you know, at like sporting goods places, or highly recommended, you know.
Yep.
And I see all these videos where these guys are doing these videos like survival stuff or whatever. And don't get me wrong, I do some of them in the garage so you can see what I'm talking about. But where they're doing like these testing videos and whatever of knives and equipment and survival stuff in garages, I'm like, man, put it in a scenario, as a real life scenario where you're out in the woods or in an urban situation, you know, where you're out doing that stuff, man. Test your gear, take it out and beat on it. If you know, like, if you can beat on that gear and you know it's going to work, put it in your bag. Call it good. So I would say another myth, not to keep jabbering, but I watch these guys building these bug out bags, and I was always taught the more you know, the less you need. And that's the honest God truth, man. Think outside the box. Always have, if you put something in your bag, if it doesn't have 5 uses, I don't want it in my bag. If you can't do 5 different things with that thing, like a mosquito net, you know, you put a mosquito net, it's for keeping bugs out of your face. It's for collecting minnows. There's a million uses. You know what I mean? You can use foraging and stuff in like birch bark and whatever, so you can take, you know, make a fire when you get back to camp. But having a bug out bag, if you cannot put that bag on every single day, walk outside, and if you got an emergency situation, you can't run straight, balls out for 2 miles, that's you're carrying the wrong bag. You are carrying the wrong bag. Because I watch guys put these bug out bags on, and it looks like a campsite on their back. And they're like bent over, and I'm like, man, this guy's gonna fall over in the first 5 minutes, man. You know?
Yeah. Well, we'll circle back. We'll circle back on that because I have an idea.
Yeah.
Dad, anything you want to add to the myths or the cons to look out for?
No, you guys covered it. I mean, this stuff, common sense stuff, you know. Think about what you need and try to put it together in a small package where you can carry it. You know. But
what he said right there, Lewis Jr., is where you can carry it. Carry it every single day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. What do you have on you right now? And what do you have every single day? EDC, every day carry. Right?
I love this because we're going to come back to this. And so I got one more, because I know we're coming up on time. I got one more idea or question, depending on how we want to take this. And then I have a challenge for Arco. And I think this is going to fit. This is going to fit really well. But the last topic idea question I have is, and what I'm thinking is maybe somebody from the community, maybe somebody from the comments could help us out with a legal expert, somebody who has an understanding of what's the legal ramifications of self-defense in a preparedness situation, right? So I think this kind of ties back to the earlier segment of like what's a likely scenario, because if you're in a Mad Max movie, right, there's no laws. You're in the jungle, right? If you're where Arco lives and you're in the woods, and you don't have a cell phone on you, it's only the law of the jungle there that's gonna that's gonna help you. There's nothing that it's between you and God and whatever the situation is that you're confronted with. So and this again might be more so on the concrete side, but what are some of the things that we should be thinking of legally, right? So obviously, you're thinking of concealed carry. Or you're thinking of if you get in a hand-to-hand combat situation, this could be as simple as pulling up some news stories.
Well, I mean, you got like in Oregon, I know if you get in a fight with somebody on the street, I think it all depends on your state laws, bro, because in Oregon, you get in a fight on the street and they hit you, They get charged with a felony. You hit him, you get charged with a felony.
Wait. You hit them, and they get charged with the felony.
The person
No,
that
both.
hits the person, both. Yeah, you both get charged with a felony. Yeah. So whoever starts the fight, like, so if you walk up and just punch some dude, you're getting a felony. But if you start fighting back with this guy, you're both getting felony.
Okay. So if you defend yourself,
you're getting
a felony. Okay. Yeah.
I'm
never going to Oregon.
Hey, and I'm taking the felony because I'm not going to stand there and let some dude punch me. I'll beat his ass. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
right.
You're not going to Washington, and I'm not going to Oregon. We have our own reasons as to why this is the case.
Yep.
So, like you said, Arco, every state is different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, every state.
Every state's different.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Yeah, you got to know your laws. That's another thing. Really learn your state laws, because some states have stand your ground and some don't.
Yeah.
So you kind of got to research that a little bit. See, I belong to USCCA. It's a insurance for self-defense. So if I get in a self-defense situation, they'll come bail me out of jail. They'll give me a lawyer and all that stuff. But they have a lot of information on each state on what the laws are, and stuff like that. So it's something to look into, just to have that in your mind, of what you can do and can't do.
So like here in Minnesota, I'm in Big Falls. I'm way up north, and I mean so far up north, we're on the Canadian border. But they have sovereign areas here, and a lot of them are the native reservations. So they're sovereign. There's no laws. There's no cops. There's no laws. There's no nothing. Serious. And here where I live, we make it where there's no laws because we just don't care. And the cops here straight up tell us, take care of it. And they're being straight up honest to God. They're like, hey, I'm serious. If something happens, if you get in trouble and you need my help, call me. Call the cops, call 911. But if you do not need our help, take care of it. And there's been times where I had to do some dental work on some guys in my front yard and stuff like that because we caught them on our property, whatever. But there's other times where, I get in trouble and the cop tells me, I'm not arresting you. I'm not putting handcuffs on you. You're just going to shoot you. Like straight up. I'm not arresting you. So I'm like, all right, that's fair enough, man. I think state laws like California, when I lived there, it was starting to get bad, man. Like it was starting to get bad where you even look at somebody and they're arresting you, and you're like, man.
Okay, I know we're at time. I want to leave you with this. I'll plant the seed. Arco, you don't have to answer it now, but you had offered to do a challenge.
Yep.
And we don't have to do this, within any time frame, whatever works for you, obviously for your busy schedule and then the Minnesota climate. But I'm thinking the 72-hour gallon size baggie challenge. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
So you go out into a rural situation. It's my dog. You go out to a rural situation, public land, national park, and all you bring with you is a gallon-sized baggie and the clothes on your back, and you're out there for 72 hours. And you can only bring what's on the clothes on your back and what's in that gallon-sized baggie.
So you can put stuff in that bag.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. 72 hours, man. That's a long time.
Yeah. And that'll really make you think of what you need to carry.
Yeah. What about, if I was going to film this, I got to have obviously I'll have to bring my phone and charger and stuff, some way to charge my phone, Yeah.
Hey, if you can fit it in your gallon-sized baggie, go for it, man. Again, we don't need an answer today. Just want to throw that out there. I know you're a busy guy. We could scale it, maybe 48 hours, maybe 24 hours.
Yo, I got one for you too that we'll talk about. But there's we did this thing called a 50-foot survival school, and you take 25 foot of paracord and you put it. You pick a spot out in the woods, and you pin it down to the ground, and you have 25 feet, meaning you have 50-foot radius, and then you stay out there all day. You're not allowed to leave that radius. What can you do? And you think as hard as you can, what can you do to survive out there? If you had to stay 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights, 4 nights.
Yeah. So
food, it's water, everything.
It's
So
the
do you pick the
paracord.
spot?
You could pick a spot, yeah, but like
Okay.
you want to make it where it's a challenge to yourself, where you can go out to the woods and find a spot that you're like, okay, I don't see water, so I want to make a spot right here. Boom, and don't get yourself in trouble or not like that, or hurt yourself or do something stupid. I'm just saying what it does is it makes you think outside the box, because you'll be surprised. You got dew that collects on the plants in the mornings. You got water. You got how deep can you dig before you hit water? You got what do you got for shelter in that 50-foot radius? You know what I'm saying? Like it's what it does is it trains your mind to think outside the box.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is loneliness. That's the other thing that we taught in our survival classes. If you go out and say you go with me and you had the hardcore survival class, which was 2 weeks, and you were out there in the woods with me for 2 weeks, loneliness is the first thing that I watch people get hit with. It's so funny. It's usually the first night, but usually the second night, late that night, I'd say like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, when reality starts clicking. I've seen grown men, big, bad, fluffed out dudes, crying like a little baby, man. Like, I just want to go home, man. And I'm like, hey, we just had a minivan drop 7 of us off in the middle of nowhere, bro. We're 15 miles in the middle of nowhere. You got nothing. And then the other thing that scares them bad is when we get out of that van and I go, what do you got in your pack? And I start looking in the pack, digging through it, whatever. And I put it back in their pack. And I say, okay. And I throw it back in the minivan. And they're like, what? I'm like, you're going with me, man. You ain't taking no pack. You got that knife in your pocket right there. That's what we're going with right now. Let's go. And they start bawling, dude. They're like, ah.
Hey, I'm not going nowhere with you in the woods.
No, it's some cool stuff to talk about on our channel, man. I mean, it's like I can get into some of the stories and make you guys laugh, man.
Well, that's great. Hey,
that's great.
I just want to say, guys, thank you again for doing this. You both have your own thing going on. You don't have to do this. We appreciate you doing this and this information, and it's great. And I appreciate you letting me jump on tonight and ask a few questions.
Anytime, brother. Thank you. Appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah.
Good seeing you, Lewis.
All right. So we're going to end the show here, and thank everybody in the chat.
Thanks,
Please tell
guys.
everybody, share this with your friends and family. We're not doing this for any money. We're just doing this to spread knowledge and
but if
and
you guys,
to learn too.
If you guys want to send money, my address is.
Yeah.
Hey, don't forget to subscribe. You got to subscribe to the channel, though, please.
Yeah, subscribe, please. All right, we'll see you in a couple of weeks, and we'll have some more good stuff to share with you.
Good night, everyone.
Everybody.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Good night.